first of all, I have to say thank you. What a blast of a season. We've been to so many amazing car meets that before we jump to the prep, or how I do prep the Supra, I really want to take that moment and reflect the season so far. So we started in Tokyo, what was absolutely unbelievable for me, being there and being on the underground meet and meet people like Dino, Dustin Williams, also Larry, some things I never dreamed of, or Corey and Davis from ADRO. So many people that built a network. Absolutely crazy to be part of this, and knowing now so many people. Then we've been to JD Mania. We've been to the legendary poster Mannheim Meet. It was an absolute honor to be there. We were on 3 phenomenal WBN CARS meets. Also the late night meets that we had in Mannheim were absolutely mind-blowing. My voice is shaking a little bit because I think this has to be said, and let me say it this way: without all of you, none of this would be happened. Without my wife saying to me, hey, grab a camera and show the people what you do, because I think people would love to know that and people would watch that. And now we have the 4th video in a row with over 400 views, and the 3rd video in a row with over 500 views. You guys rock, and thank you so much for all the support. I will guarantee I won't stop. End of story. Okay, I won't stop. Okay, and thank you for your support. So, coming to today's video, I always hear Nate saying to me, your car is always so clean, what do you do about it? So I think we're gonna make a mix about the cleaning routine that I do, and as well how to prep it for the winter, because my cleaning routine is actually the same thing. I refuel it after every drive, and I mean I'm a bit crazy maybe, okay, but I think there's some things in that might be interesting for all of you. So where to start? Of course we're gonna give the car a wash. I'm not filmed that in specifically, so I will blend in some things where I was at the wash place, and I think everybody of you knows best how to clean its own car. With that said, everything that I just about to say is my personal impression and my personal experience. So if you have a better way, fine, go for it. If you think I'm doing something wrong, that's totally okay as well. I think it's my 4th car, and it's 3 years old and it still looks like brand new. So I think everybody should do what they think is best. Coming back to the cleaning itself. So usually when I wash the car, I dry towel it on the wash place or on the wash park, and then I drive home. After that drive home, I'm gonna wipe all the dust off with the rag, because sometimes you have like small earth picks that are here that are mixing up with water, and you have like little dirt steps on it. So I'm getting rid of those, and then I'm gonna leave the car here down in the garage that it can dry out completely. After the car has dried here like 2 days, I'm going to take like an evening or an afternoon where I had a very stressy day, because this is so meditative for me that I said I want to chill down while doing this. The first thing I do always is removing all the dust, because of course we're in a garage, but we still have cars driving up and down here, and there's always some dust that is created. So I'm going to make sure that there's no dust on the car before I start with detailing the car. And I mean, that's pretty simple. I start most probably on the hood with the Auto Finesse Quick Detailer. Big shout out to them. I'm also meet them this year. Absolutely fantastic. I usually start at the hood. Then I'm gonna move over to the roof back, front bumper, rear bumper, sides, and I'm going to detail the whole car. For winter preparation, I usually use Fuso coat still, because I think, and this is again my personal favor, I think Fuso coat is the best long-term preparation for cars, next to ceramic sealing. Okay, what is pretty expensive by days, but I personally prefer Fuso coat over ceramic sealing. Okay, I mean, there's ifs and whens and whats, but my personal opinion. And also I make sure that when I did wipe it off completely, I also open up the fuel cap and make sure that there's inside also are no water points anymore, and there's no dust and no dirt in it. And by doing this, I also directly take care about the engine bay. So what does it mean? Of course, pop up the hood, detail the carbon fiber cover of the engine, of the ECU, as well as on the Venturi air intake system. So next up is, of course, every plastic parts that we have in the engine bay. Everything needs to be cleaned, everything needs to be wiped off dust, wiped off water things. I mean, the car is not really dirty as you see here, but I think this is a good way to do so and keep the cleaning level very high, or the cleaning standard very high, because the more often you do that, the more clean it is, the less efforts you have by doing this. As you see here, I mean, it's one wipe and we're good to go. So especially in winter preparation, and this is something I do once a year, I'm using McWise plastics for the front headlights and the tail lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a rag, wipe it in softly, leave it dry for like 1 to 2 minutes, not longer, and then I'm going to wipe it off. We had very good results in the shop when we did Eric's headlights on the S2000. I'm going to blend it in now, and I'm an absolute fan of this product, okay? Hence we are going from headlights to taillights. We can't miss our exhaust tips from Blitz. So I'm sorry, I had a little disruption because the neighbor did park in his car. So also I did take some notes to make sure I do not forget anything. So we spoke about the front lights and about the tail lights. Also what I do then, if I'm still in that working flow on the tail lights, I directly take a rag and clean the exhaust tips, outside, inside, both of them, of course, right? Because some of you might have a single exit on the Supra. Then you're lucky, you only have to clean one exhaust tip. What I also do, because I'm on the exterior part here, is I'm going to take care about the mirror caps. I'm going to take care about the mirror glass itself. The outside I'm going to detail, and for the inside I'm going to use also a glass cleaner. What brings me to a bigger point, and this is front windows, side windows, rear windows. It took me a while until I figured out what glass cleaner works the best for me. I'm using here the Audi Finesse glass cleaner. I'm super satisfied by this. Therefore, I used to have the Glaco one, what I also can really recommend. What I want to have is, I want to spray it on the surface, and I want to wipe it off, and I want to have it clean. I don't want to have any stripes. I don't want to have any white stripes or something else. I think that's just terrible, and it costs you time, and it doesn't bring you forward in the process. So yeah, that's usually how I do it. And of course, for the winter preparation especially, I'm going to do it on the inside and on the outside. And I think personally for me, wiping off the stuff on the inside in a Supra front window is the biggest pain you can have in life. Let me know in the comments if there are other cars who have even smaller or less accessible front windshields. Absolutely crazy how tight this is, and how I don't want to mess around with Toyota, but that's definitely a point I'm not happy about. Okay, the next thing I do is very Supra special. So if you have a car with a black plastic bumper parts, or if you have side panels that have plastic in it, like vents or a different part of material than painted surface or matte surface that looks like painted, right? I usually use Ultimate Black for the door panels at the Supra, and I have a little trick I'm doing here. So I'm gonna put the product on a small brush and I'm gonna stitch it into the plastic panels, and then I'm gonna wipe it off with a rag. And the before and after look shows you that the finish of the product, the finish of the door panel itself looks way better, and also it makes it waterproofs and a little bit resistance versus UV, because that's the main enemy of these door panels, because if the sun shines on it, it gets matte by the time, right? So I really recommend you doing this step. I usually do that step 2 times in a year, like in the beginning of the season and in the end of the season, and it's totally okay for the whole year. What brings me to the most painful point for me personally in car cleaning, and this is rims or wheels or whatever you call them. I think it's just terrible to clean them. It's okay to do it at a wash place with a brush and some shampoo in it, and you're fine. But the real work, and this is what I always say, the real work starts at home, in your detailing space, in your garage, or wherever you're going to clean a car. So I also use here a car detailer. I usually use quick wheel detailer from NYUBYS. Then Benny from Auto Finesse gave me the point and said, hey, you can use the same detailer you use for the color, you can also use it for the rims, but I would prefer buying, if you buy some from me, that is specially for the rims. So I didn't do that yet. I still use that detailer, the same I use for the rest of the car, and I can tell you it works out perfectly. So I'm going to start by the top of the rim, and then I'm going to work in and out. So I'm going to make sure I have all the parts that is in the deep center of the rim super clean, right? And while doing this, I also use the satin tire cream from Auto Finesse for the tires. There are a lot of pros and cons regarding tire cream. Okay, hence I'm not driving the car on a racetrack or super sporty on the toga run, and I'm more like how my friends call me, the Miss Daisy of the Supra drivers. I love just the effect and how it looks, and the tire looks super clean, and you don't have that yellow stitch in it anymore. And I really prefer doing so. Of course, all 4 of them. So I really recommend that. Again, let me know. I don't get any money from Auto Finesse. I don't get any money from NYUBYS. I don't get any money from Glecko. If one of those 3 companies are watching this and you want to reach out to me for doing so, let me know. But by now, that's not the point. I'm going to buy all the stuff by myself. So hence we finished the whole outside of the car. We now jump to the interior. For the interior, use whatever product you think it's fine. The only thing I can say is I tried a lot of interior cleaners, from Soft 99 to Auto Finesse to NYUBYS to even, I think I had a German brand, I don't know. Just take care that it's not glossy. That's the only thing you have to take care of. So I'm using also the Auto Finesse interior cleaner. I really love it. Here's the thing, at the seat you see, you have to bring it to the seat. Then you have to wait a little bit, and then you have to wipe it off with a dry rag. Okay, that's the only thing that Pookie mentioned to me. You have to watch out for. So just don't leave it in dry, just wipe it off. So a lot of people now will think, hey, why does he do not vacuum clean first? Maybe he moves the dirt from A to B. Yes, maybe, but that's just the way I'm used to it, or I don't think I will ever change it. So usually I start with the floor mats. that's the part where I start vacuum cleaning the car. I'm gonna go over to the seats. I'm gonna take care about the trunk, and there's no big secret in it. Okay, just make sure it's really clean and you get in all these little sneaky holes that you have in this car where, and we all know this, you have like $1 in your pocket, it fell off and it flies through a vacuum black hole, 3 universes, and you find it Tuesday in 2 years. Make sure you go exactly there with a vacuum cleaner. To even elaborate, if there is some money, you can pick it out. Maybe you have some more money for groceries or Schwing's coffee or 7-Eleven convenience stores. Absolutely funny thing, but it's always the same. So make sure you take care about these big black holes in your car and vacuum clean there. And that being said, the only thing I then do is I'm going to repark the car at its place. I'm going to make sure that the tire pressure is what Toyota recommends for full pressure. And then I'm put on a battery saver, and that's it. And then the car stands here like for 4 to 5 months. And maybe hence I have a license plate that allows me to also drive in January. So I have no season license plate. There's differences in Germany. Most counties just have like season license plate. So you can drive from March to October. My car is eligible to drive the full year on German roads. So maybe in January when there's no salt on the street, I can take a ride, but I usually leave it for 5 months down here. And we're good to go. And I'm happy to have a freshly new clean car for the next season. So we're nearly coming to the end of the video, and thank you first of all so much for staying so long with me and watching me talking and cleaning my car. Thank you for a fantastic season 2025. And the good news is that now the convention season starts. So we're speaking about SEMA, we're speaking about EMS, we're speaking about Auto Salon, Osaka Car Show, even Ultrace is coming to Germany, and it's also be in Poland. We are looking in a super bright and fantastic 2026. All right. So also next weekend I'm going to be on Nürburgring at Tuning Masters, not with that car, but with the Audi that stands behind the camera. Because I promised my family to take them finally to at least one car meet this season, and hence I love them both. I have to take into consideration to bring them to the meet. And yeah, what else to say? Thank you for fantastic support, and thank you for staying so long with me, and your support really means the world to me, guys. I don't know what to say. Rather, is it your comments, is it the faces when we do giveaways or when we meet on the meets. There's so many people, they're just hugging me when they see me on the meets. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love it to do what I do, and without you this all won't work. And I'm very thankful and grateful for you guys giving me that opportunity. And with that said, thank you so much for a fantastic car season 2025. We're just about to get started. And as always, I catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.